Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to the campus of Archbishop Wood. My name is Anthony Salvato. You're watching WSJP on YouTube. Tonight's matchup featuring the Hawks of St. Joe's Prep versus the Vikings of Archbishop Wood in PCL volleyball action. Very excited to get this one out to you, and we're sorry for the technical difficulties we had earlier, but we appear to be all ready to go. And we have just about 4.5 minutes left in warm-ups. Then we will be back with game action here from Archbishop Wood. Stay tuned. And we're back here at the gym of Archbishop Wood for the Hawks season opener against the Vikings. Starters for tonight for the Hawks: at libero number 4, Fernando Nito, the sophomore. Outside hitter number 17, Jack Owens, the senior. Outside hitter number 15, James Martinelli. Middle blocker, Jay Adams. Middle blocker, Sean Cuthbertson. Opposite hitter, Jax McGuire. And opposite hitter, Jaden Hill. The Hawks, and a little bit of some unorthodox uniforms for this season, you would say. Their official uniforms have not arrived, so throwing it back, today's pass of the nascent stages of the team, when they just had t-shirts. There's no prep logo on these jerseys, and just numbers on the back. They had to draw some on the front, but they're all dressed, ready to go, and kick off their season. Once again, the starters: McGuire, Adams, Owens, Christou, Nito, and Martinelli. Read a few too many names there. Looks like it will be Christou up front with McGuire and Adams. Adams in the middle. It will be Archbishop Wood to start with the ball. To serve first, number 19, Dan Harris, gets us going. Christou sends it up for McGuire. And kept alive by the Vikings. Free ball over to the Hawks side. Christou up again for McGuire. Recovered by the Vikings. Another free ball over. Martinelli to Christou to Adams. And just out of bounds. It'll be 1-0 Vikings start here in this first set. The scoreboard will read, by games won, we are in a best of 5. We will not do individual game scores. We will keep you posted. McGuire again on the kill. And it is 2-1 in favor of the Vikings in this first game, but Hawks on the board. And senior captain Jack Owens set the serve on Hawks' first possession. Owens sends it over. And this one awarded right back to the Vikings. It looked like he was called over the line on his serve. It'll be 3-1 Vikings, and they get the ball. Actually, it looks like they had something to say about the rotation for the Hawks. McGuire again for the Hawks hits that out of play. It's 4-1 Vikings to open up this first set. As of last game, neither side switched halves, so you should see the Hawks side all night through all 5 sets if they're necessary. Serve there from number 11, Colin Lynch of the Vikings. Hits the netting along the way, and it'll be Hawks ball. Now Owens gets a serve, so it was an illegal rotation called on the Hawks. Trying to get even for them. Sends it over. It's bumped up and out by the Vikings. And the Hawks tack on one more. Pitch effort there to save it from the Vikings, unsuccessful. That was Rohan Rathod trying to keep it up, but 3 touches too many, and they could not get it over the net. So Hawks ball, we're tied at 4 here in this first set. Owens again on the serve. Up and over and straight over. No response from the Vikings. Matt Haran Libero was trying to get to that, and just too short for him. And the Hawks take a 5-4 lead here in this opening set. Owens will have another go. This time handled by Haran. Bumped up Another free ball over Owens to Christou to Adams. And the kill from Adams. 6-4 Hawks. Owens again now. Sends it over. Haran bumps it. Attempt from the Vikings. Handled by the Hawks. Martinelli takes a shot over. McGuire tips this one. And then out of bounds as it entered the Hawks side. So the point will go to the Vikings. And up to serve now number 5, Ryan Berthod. Another captain for the Vikings. Martinelli under this. Bumps it up for Christou. Owens plays it. Looks like just in. They'll call it on the line. It is Hawks ball. So serve now for the Hawks. Jay Adams. Fernando Nito checks out. Sean Cuthbertson checks in. Adams sends it over. Bumped up, but miscommunication on the Vikings side, and the Hawks take another easy point. It's 8-5. Adams, his second year on varsity, or his second year playing volleyball, first year on varsity. I believe he played swing last year, getting starting time this year. Hawks looking for the block on the other end. That was McGuire. And I can't see if it fell on the Hawks side or if McGuire caught a piece of the net, but possession will be awarded to the Viking side. Hawks get possession right back. Zach Reagan checks in to serve. For the Hawks, Jackson McGuire checks out. Serve is up and bumped into the ceiling. And the Vikings unable to play it off the bounce. And now it is 10-6 Hawks here in this first set. The ball is considered live even off the ceiling here. It's same in both JV and varsity. They will play on if it hits the ceiling. This one hit from out of bounds by Martinelli, just on the wrong side of that stick there. So the ball will be awarded back to the Vikings. Berthod to serve for the Vikings. Nito is under it. Sends it to Christou right there for Cuthbertson. Tipped back by the Vikings. Called, I believe, too many touches from the Vikings side. And the Hawks regain possession. It's 11-7 now. James Martinelli in to serve this one for the Hawks. His first attempt of the day is over. And through the hands of Captain Matt Haran, the libero for the Vikings. And the Hawks take a 5-point lead in this opening set. Martinelli again, all the way. Jump serve style. This one played off the ceiling. Haran just sets it over. Christou sets it for Owens. Look out. And it's in. It appears it's in. And will be Hawks ball yet again, 13-6. The JV rounds, Wood took the first one, the Hawks took the second one. Third was the closest of them all, where the Vikings eventually did pull away. Martinelli sends this one off the back of Cuthbertson's head. It will be Vikings ball. He does seem to be okay. Haran will serve now for the Vikings. Tough angle to play that for Nito. Reagan bumps it back for Nito, who bumps the free ball over. Just on the line, Hawks ball. And they get the point, 14-8. Nito to serve for the Hawks. (14-8). And a time violation called on Nito, 5 seconds. And the ball awarded to the Vikings. Serving this one for them was Dan Harris, their setter. The Hawks unable to handle that one. The Vikings come within 4. It's 14-10 in this opening set. Harris again. Reagan sets it. Owens gets under it and just bumps it over. A little bit of miscommunication on the Vikings side. Tipped by the Hawks. Reagan sets it for Owens. Just sets it over the net again. Blocked by the Vikings. Sends it back into the Hawks half. Owens again. A light touch over the net. But it looks like they said he touched the net. No, this will count for the Hawks. A nice move there by Owens. Get the ball back for the Hawks, 15-10. We play these sets till 25. Once again, best of 5 sets wins the day. Owens tips it over right in front of the net again. It is 16-10 Hawks. Same play, beat the Vikings twice with the same move. Looks like a timeout called by the Vikings. We'll be right back in just a moment with some more action here. Just a minute timeout, so won't be gone for long. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Archbishop Wood. The Hawks with possession. Andoni Christou, senior. Sorry, make that James Martinelli on the serve for the Hawks. This one blocked by the Vikings. Martinelli keeps it alive off the ceiling. And Nito able to bump it over. Spike there. Or hit there from the Vikings. Off the fingertips of Christou. And out of bounds, but it looks like this is awarded to the Hawks anyway. So now it will be Christou serving. 17-10. Hawks looking to close out this first set soon. Christou's serve is up and over. Popped up by Horan, but not high enough. And Dan Harris to get under it. It's another point for the Hawks, 18-10. Christou again, this one into the net. It'll be Vikings ball. Vikings serve on the way. That one from Colin Lynch. Martinelli is able to dig it out, but it had too much backspin on it for Jack Owens to get under it. And the Vikings collect another, trying to get back into this first game. Let's just serve over again. Martinelli under this, plays it much more cleanly. Christou leaves it for Owens. Look out. Moran was able to get under it, but just too much power behind that one from Jack Owens. That one was into the batters. Behind the court, it is Hawks ball. 19-12 in this opening set. Owens to serve for the Hawks. Horan sets it. Todd sends it into the Hawks half. Martinelli the other way. This one looks like it is tipped out of bounds. Hawks gets a point. It is now 20-12. Jack Owens again. Horan under it. Just out of bounds, but Christou elects to play it. Martinelli buffs that just out of bounds on the Vikings side. The Vikings not out of this one yet. Ryan Rathod, starter, initial starter for this team. To serve. McGuire just tips it over. Martinelli keeps it alive for the Hawks. Another hit from the Vikings. Owens to McGuire. Tipped. Double touched him into the net. And the Hawks get this one back at the hands of Jax McGuire. And it will be Jay Adams to serve. 4 points. Has the chance to close it out here, with a little bit of help from his teammates as well. Adams sends it into the net. It's the Vikings ball. Adams checks out. Nito checks right back in. Into the back row. The serve over from the Vikings. Owens plays it up. Cuthbertson for the kill. 21-15 Hawks in this opening set. Looks like it will be Jackson McGuire's serve. And he will sub out for Zach Reagan. And now 22-14 in this first set. Reagan with the chance to close this out. Looks like he was called over the line. And it is the Vikings ball yet again. Rohan Rathod on the serve for the Vikings. Reagan sets it forward. Christou to Martinelli. Over the net. It looks like on the wrong side of that stick. And it is Vikings ball. Crawling their way back into this. 22-16. Rathod on the serve again. Reagan to Christou. So Owens just has to send a free ball over. Horan pops that up off the ceiling. Another free ball from the Vikings now. Christou sets this. Martinelli tipped. Kept alive by Horan. Set again by the Vikings. Sent over the middle. Nice dig by Nito. Sends it up to Martinelli. And just shy of getting over the net. And the Vikings are now within 5. It's 22-17. Will this late rally be enough for the Vikings? Rathod over. Bumped up by Nito. Cuthbertson tips it over, but kept alive by the Vikings. Nito digs it out, leaves it for Christou to Martinelli, and just called out. 22-18. A little bit of a run going for the Vikings. Time blocked, but out of bounds, and Hawks get the ball back. And now with the chance to close this one out, James Martinelli. Sean Cuthbertson covering his head this time, got hit in the back of the head. On Martinelli's last serve attempt. Martinelli hits the net. And this one is out of play, now 23-19. It will be Matt Haran for the Vikings. Serves this one well out of bounds. Over the Hawks half. 24-19. This will be the set point. Fernando Nido to serve for the Hawks. Looking to close out this first game. Serve is up. Hits the net and is short. (24-20). Last chance for the Vikings. Nido bumps it to Christu. That one off the ceiling. Christu plays it again. Since he hit it twice in a row, there was no one else around there that could make a play on that ball. Will be Vikings ball again. Reagan bumps this for Christu. Sets it up for Owens. Just tips it over. The Vikings crashing into block, and the Hawks take the first set 25-21. And with that, both sides will have a timeout. We'll be right back with Game 2 action here from Archbishop Wood. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the gym of Archbishop Wood. PCL volleyball action between the Vikings and the Hawks of St. Joe's Prep. Anthony Salvato once again saying thank you for tuning in to WSJP on YouTube. We are getting set for Game 2. Christu to serve for the Hawks to open up the second set. Vikings send it over, but blocked by Adams. Some more miscommunication, but kept alive now by the Hawks. McGuire, his initial hit is tipped, and then mishandled by the Vikings, so the Hawks open with a 1-0 lead. Christu over again, and just hits the net, and knocked down. So 1-1, Vikings ball. Dan Harris sends it over. Christu sets it. Owens crashing in. And just outside, out of play. And it's 2-1 Vikings. Harris sends it over. little bit of a tough time handling it there for Nito. Sent to McGuire. And in for the kill. Jackson McGuire, 2-2 in game 2. The Hawks once again won the first set by a score of 25-21. 2-2 here. Jack Owens sends this one over. Popped up by Haran. Hits it over. Bumped up by Nito. Set by Christou for Adams. And it's called out. It is Vikings ball once again, 3-2. The serve over from Colin Lynch. Adams hits it over. Missed block there by McGuire. They went out of bounds. They're saying McGuire caught a piece of it. And it remains Vikings ball. So Lynch to serve again with a 4-2 lead in game 2. Handled by Martinelli. Bumped for Christou. Christou sets. Owens just sets it over. Didn't have a lot of time to get there. This one tipped over in front. Kept alive by Adams and Martinelli. Adams bumps it over. Spike blocked. Played over by Adams and they get it back. All hope had seemed lost on the point. Jay Adams with the block. Played it off the net. Then had it sent to him from McGuire. Got it over for Hawks point. And now he will go to serve. Looking to tie this game up at 4-4. Bumped by Haran. Set across. This one tipped out by McGuire. It'll be Vikings ball once again. Todd to serve this one for Archbishop Wood. Owens sets it. Christou leaves it for Martinelli. That one was blocked on the way up by the Vikings. Getting a hand on that one. Number 9. Ryan Esereza. Christou sets it for McGuire. Tipped. Kept alive by the Vikings. One last chance here. Lynch smokes that one out of bounds. It'll be Hawks ball again. 6-4. And McGuire will sub out. Reagan will sub in. And Reagan will serve. Zach Reagan sends it over. And not a lot of talking from the Vikings side, as that was Haran and Lynch that waited for each other to get it. And it's a Hawks point, 6-5. Looking to tie it up here. Over the net, Haran. That one's sort of too high for him, sets it out of bounds. And it is tied at 6 here in game 2. Reagan gets it over. Haran bumps it up. And over and out. That set there from Dan Harris, just a little too much on it. Now Reagan sets it over. Haran bumps it up. Great dig by Owens to keep this ball alive. Christou set it for Cuthbertson. Had blockers. Just hesitated a little too long. Nito bumps it. Christou sets it. Martinelli hits that one into the net. Possession with the Vikings. 8-7 now. Sent over by the Vikings. Christou sets it for Adams. Martinelli make that. Just sets it over. Now blocked by Christou. be Hawks ball, tied at 8. Martinelli on the serve, bumped up and short by the Vikings. Possession stays with the Hawks. It's 9-8 here in game 2. Martinelli again. Sends it over. Duran sets it forward to Harris. Now played over by Lynch. Reagan to Christou. Sets it for Owens. Taps it into the middle. Blown dead. The ball awarded to the Hawks. Martinelli will continue to serve. 10-8. This one is up. And out of bounds. This goes over the net. So it is 10-9. Vikings get possession back. The serve on the way from Muller. Owens is blocked. And it's Wood ball. We're tied at 10. Muller again. That one bumped up by Owens. Christou sets it for him. Look out. Moran keeps it alive. Cuthbertson sends it back down from the Hawks side. And they take the lead back and possession with it. It's 11-10. Substitution, Cuthbertson out, Adams in, and Fernando Nito to serve. Nito's serve on the way. Sent over by Harris. Lynch drills it into the net. The Hawks collect another point. It's 12-10. Nito again on the serve. Vikings dig it out. Set it to the middle. Hawks called for touching the net. And possession awarded right back to Archbishop Wood. Matt Horan to serve for the Vikings. Sends this one out of bounds. It'll be Hawks ball. Andoni Christou on to serve. Reagan checks out. McGuire checks in. This one on the way for Christou. Haran bumps it up. Sent across by the Vikings. Martinelli digs it. Works his way over to Jones. Jack Owens, dug out. Now sent out of bounds by the Vikings. (14-11). Christou over. Bumped up. Harris across. Great dig by Nito. Set for Owens. Owens keeps it alive. Nito bumps it again. Adams tips it off the net. And it's Vikings ball. Great effort there from the Hawks. Keep it alive. But just not long enough. Vikings ball. 14-12. Nito bumps this one up for Christou. Set it to Owens. Now kept alive by the Vikings. Martinelli keeps this one alive. Christou for Adams. And out of bounds. Vikings ball. It remains Vikings ball. 14-3. Martinelli to Christou to McGuire. Out again. Knotted up at 14. Once again, the Hawks took the first set, 25-21. Get number 2. And here comes Jack Owens. Emphatically makes us 15-14. And he will serve to build on this new lead for the Hawks. Bumped up by Haran. Harris sets it. It's played over to Hawks. Christou sets it for Martinelli. Kept alive by Haran. Harris across to Lynch. Blocked by McGuire. And the Vikings unable to recover. 16-14 Hawks. Owens to serve again. Owens over, mishandled by Haran. Into the ceiling. Great dig by Owens. The Vikings just kept it alive. Martinelli bumps it over. Haran to Harris. Across for the spike, blocked. Christou keeps it in the air. Owens over to McGuire and over. Harris sets it for the Vikings. And slammed down by Ryan Mathod. It is 16-15 Vikings. Get the ball back. Serve from the Vikings. Christou sets it to Martinelli. Tipped and out of bounds. Off the Vikings. It's Hawks ball. Adams to serve now for the Hawks. Sends it over. Haran bumps it up. Harris over. Just tips it over. Played by Cuthbertson. McGuire tried to get it down, but dug out by the Vikings and just tipped over the net now by Drew Muller. Owens to Christou, to McGuire, and tack on another for the Hawks. It's 18-6. Reagan to serve for the Hawks. Sent that one off the net, got away from him. 18-17. Vikings ball. Christou sets it to Martinelli. Tipped over but blocked. Nito keeps it alive. Christou for Owens. Into the middle. Harris across for Muller. Just sends it over. Owens to Christou. To Martinelli. It's in. And it's down for a Hawks point. 19-17. And they'll get it back. Martinelli on that last kill. Now we'll get to serve. But first we'll have a Vikings timeout. 19-17. 1 minute timeout. We'll be back with more Game 2 action when we return. Stay tuned. Once again, welcome back to the gym at Archbishop Wood. Anthony Salvato, you're listening, or you're watching WSJP on YouTube. Game 2 action, it's 19-17. We are underway after this timeout called by the Vikings. Reagan sets it across for Owens. Set by Haran. Over for the Vikings, popped up off the ceiling. And this point awarded to the Hawks. So it will remain James Martinelli serve. 20-17. Martinelli sends it over. Dug out by Esreza, but short of the net. Martinelli again, 21-17, 4-point lead, looking to close this out. Sends it over, and it is watched by the Vikings. Just called out. Archbishop Wood with possession. Nito bumps it to Christu. Set to Cuthbertson for the kill. 22-18. Hawks will get the ball back. And it will be Fernando Nito again with the chance to close it out. I believe he closed out, or had the chance to close out game one. There he goes. It's popped up by the Vikings. Haran sends it over. Reagan digs it out. Christu sets it for Owens. Owens is hit. Called in play. And it remains Hawks ball. 23-18. 5-point lead. 2 points to close this one. It was Nito that got the 24th point for the Hawks in the last game. The Hawks on defense got point number 25 to close it out. Nito sends this one over. Harris to Haran and over for the Vikings. Christu sets it for Owens and out of bounds. 23-19. One last stand for the Vikings. For the Hawks have yet another chance to put it away. It'll be Matt Haran to serve. Haran to Libero. Bumped by Reagan, set by Christu, hit by Jack Owens, out of bounds. 23-20. Haran, short. And now game point here for the Hawks. Dwyer checks in, Reagan checks out, Christu will serve. 4-point lead. Last one was 25-21. Be the same story here. Christu sends it over. Haran bumps it up. Harris sets it across. Blocked by Adams. Kept alive. Haran bumps it up again. Lynch is blocked by McGuire and now just tipped out of bounds by McGuire. Great defensive stand on both sides. Jackson McGuire almost getting one back for the Hawks. Instead, some life for the Vikings. Harris to serve, dug out by Owens. Christu sets it for Owens off the net. 24-22. This one's not over yet. Dan Harris sends it over. Owens tips it up. Christu sets it for Owens. Blocked. Gives it to Adams. This one played off the ceiling. Nito, free ball over. Haran to Harris, up for Rathod. Laid in bounds by the Vikings. It'll be their point, 23-24 now. Harris looking to tie. Hawks looking to close this one up. Harris sends it over. Owens to Christu, to Owens. Out! It was not tipped, and we are tied at 24. Timeout, Hawks. 1 minute timeout. We'll be right back. All knotted at 24. Stay tuned. back to Archbishop Wood. Game 2 between the Hawks and the Vikings. It is 24-24. Vikings will serve. Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in. Anthony Salvato, you're watching WSJP on YouTube. It's Christou, sets it for McGuire, out of bounds. 25-24. And all these sets are win by 2. So we'll do it again. Owens to Christou, to Adams, off the net. And the Vikings steal game 2. 26-24. We will have yet another timeout. We'll be right back with game 3 action when we return. Welcome back. We are underway for game 3 here at Archbishop Wood between the Hawks and the Vikings. Hawks kicking things off with a 1-0 lead to start, and Andoni Christou will serve for the Hawks. Christou sends it over. Right up. And tipped, but not blocked by McGuire and Christou. This will be Vikings ball. Colin Lynch to serve for the Vikings. Bumped by Nito. Christou keeps it alive. Over to Owens. Dug out by Haran. Owens sets it for McGuire. Blocked, kept alive by Nito. Looks like the Hawks will be called for touching the net. This looked like potentially McGuire caught a piece of the net. They say the Vikings touched the net, and it will be Hawks ball and point. 2-1 Hawks. Jack Owens to serve. Owens sends it over. That one mishandled by Rohan Rathod. Of the Vikings, it's 3-1. Once again. Todd sets it. Harris to Haran. Christou to Adams. And down for a Hawks point. It's 4-1. Owens will do it again. Sends it over. Haran bumps it up. Harris. Now Rathod over. Free ball over. Christou sets it. Martinelli hits it. And it was tipped by the Vikings. So this remains Hawks ball. It is now 5-1. Nice little run going for Jack Owens and the Hawks. Owens. Hawks ball. Rathod sends it over, tipped by Martinelli, by McGuire. Hawks get it back. Christou to McGuire. Harris to Lynch. He smokes that one off the net. Hawks ball again. And a timeout by the Vikings. 6-point lead for the Hawks. Great run by Jack Owens. We'll be back in just a moment. (7-1) Hawks lead in Game 3. Jack Owens still serving. Rathod to Harris. Sets it over to Rathod. And he touched the net. Remains Hawks ball 8-1 now. We are tied 1-1 overall. Hawks won the first set 25-21. Vikings won the second one 26-24. Lynch plays it over. Owens sets it for Adams, or Christou sets it for Adams, and it's 9-1 Hawks. Owens again. Rathod to Harris. Over to Rathod, but it hits the base of the netting. Out of play first. Kept alive by Nito. Christou to set for McGuire. McGuire's hit kept alive. Haran, free ball over. Owens for Christou now. Up for Martinelli. Blocked, but out of play. Still Hawks ball, 10-point lead, 11-1. Owens will go at it again. Popped up. Called for the Hawks. 12-1. Owens sends it over. Rathod just keeps it alive. Tipped over by Lynch. Christou sets Owens, free ball over. Diving to dig that was Haran. Christou sets it again. Martinelli over and out of bounds. And all good things must come to an end. 12-2 now, and finally, Wood will get possession back. Served by Justin Costa. Called in, and will be Vikings point, but very close to being out. Costa again. Owens set it for Christou, sets it for Martinelli. Dug out by the Vikings. Christou to McGuire, tipped, kept alive. Vikings send it over. Nito to Christou, to Martinelli. Dug out by Lynch. Over for Rathod, blocked, but it goes, or tipped, and it goes over for the Vikings, and they get the point. 12-4 now. Costa to serve. Nito had a little trouble with that one. Christou gets it to Owens. Look out. Owens sends that off the net. A pipe or a back row hit from Owens. Just a little short, a little too low. Costa sends it over. Martinelli cuts that one short. Christou sets it for McGuire off the net. 12-6. Here come the Vikings charging back. Hawks need to break up this momentum. The Vikings give him a free one. Costa sends that one well short of the net. Ito will check out. Cuthbertson will check in. And Adams will serve for the Vikings. It's 13-6 in favor of the Hawks here in Game 3. Adams sends it over. Haran to Rathod. Sets it to the middle for Harris. Just sets it over. Christou up for McGuire. Just tips it over. Looks like they'll say he hit the net. McGuire, that was. Possession awarded right back to the Vikings. Adams checks out. Nito checks back in to fill in the back row. Vikings serve on the way. Christou to Martinelli. Blocked but kept alive by Cuthbertson. And now played over by Christou, but whistled dead. And the point awarded to the Vikings. 13-8 now. The Hawks led by as many as 11. 12-1 was the top score. This one over. Christou sets it back for McGuire, who just sets that over. McGuire leaves it for Christou, leaves it for Martinelli. Martinelli hits it, kept alive by Haran. Haran, free ball, looking to get it over, instead hits the net. 14-8 now. Hawks ball. McGuire checks out. Reagan checks in, and Reagan will serve. This one over. Dug out by Haran, sent over by Rathod. Christou sets it for Cuthbertson, and it looks like he hit the net. Rathod on the other side. Rathod sets it, serves it, out of bounds. Line drive there. Nito heads up play to get out of the way. Make this 15-9 here in Game 3. Martinelli gets St. Joe's Prep rolled over the net, and it dropped in for one. 16-9. Martinelli gets it again. Haran unable to dig it out. 17-9. James Martinelli attempt number 3. This one well over, just lands in the corner inbounds. It is 18-9. The Hawks double up the Vikings. Now with the opportunity to close out the set very soon. Led by as many as 11, now lead by 9. Martinelli again. In again. 19-9. 10-point lead for the Hawks. Archbishop Wood stunned. The back row just watching these over their head. Martinelli's serve. This time played by the Vikings. Harris across. Nobody there. 20-9. Back to an 11-point lead. And a timeout by the Vikings. This one all Hawks in game 3. We'll be right back. Here we go, welcome back. Game 3 from Archbishop Wood. James Martinelli has hit the net, and it did not roll over for the Hawks. So a 10-point lead, 20-10 now in Game 3. Well up to Matt Moran. Bring the Vikings closer. Christou over for Owens. Look out! Almost a headshot there. What appears to be Acereza. And it's an 11-point Hawks lead. Nito to serve. Hawks got the ball right back. Nito's serve is over. Just barely dug out by Rathod. Played over. Free ball for the Vikings. Here comes Owens again. Rathod sets it up, and the Vikings watch it. And Nito with a chance to close. 22-10. Looking to seal Game 3 for the Hawks to take a 2-1 lead in this best of 5. Nito sends it over. Rathod bumps it up. Harris across. Lynch. Kept alive by Nito. Owens the other way. Rathod can't handle it. Hawks come within 2. 23-10. And Fernando Nito just 2 points away. Here he goes. Bumped up by Rathod. Lynch just tips it over the Hawks line. Played off the net. It's still alive. And now the Hawks unable to send it over. So 23-11. But the Hawks with a comfortable lead. The serve bumped up by Nito. Christou keeps it alive. Owens just barely gets it over. And play continues. Lynch has this one roll over the net. Nito over for Owens. Owens sends it over. Dug out by Haran. Martinelli Bumps it up. Christou across for Owens. Blocked. Christou over the net. Haran sets it up. Lynch over Reagan. To Christou. To Owens. Haran keeps it alive. To Harris. Reagan sets it. Christou sets it. Here comes Owens. Blocked. Benito keeps it alive. Christou. To Adams and over. Harris. To Lynch. Just tips it over. And the Vikings come down with it. What a rally there from both sides. But it will be the Archbishop Wood Vikings that come away with the point. Now after a quick failed serve, Hawks get it right back. 24-12, doubling up the Vikings. A chance to close it out right now for Andoni Christou. Here he goes, Haran. Right back over. On the top of the net, Hawks send it over. Haran bumps it up. Martinelli to Christou, sets it for Owens. Look out. And it's out of bounds. Just out. The official ruling by the line judge, 24-13. We play on. Vikings ball. Colin Lynch to serve for the Vikings. Ito digs it out. Christou across from McGuire. And down the Hawks take game 3. 2-1 lead for St. Joe's Prep. In this best of 5, Jackson McGuire finishes off game 3 for the Hawks. And with that, we'll go to a short break. We'll be back with game 4 action where the Hawks can take the match for today. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Archbishop Wood. My name is Anthony Salvato once again, and you're watching WSJP live on YouTube. It's the Hawks with a 2-1 lead in this best of 5. Last one was a 25-13 win in Game 3. And Game 4 on the way. Andoni Christou to serve first for the Hawks. This one over. Bumped up by Muller. Set across for a number of Vikings players. Looks to be last touch by Harris. And here comes Jack Owens to make this a 1-0 game. Hawks picking up right where they left off in terms of energy. Christou again. This one just shy off the front of the net. It'll be Vikings ball tied up at 1. Once again, to recap, the Hawks took the first game 25-21. A very close match. The Vikings took the second game 26-24. And the Hawks most recently 25-13. Looking to close the day out in game 4 right now. If they play that one out of bounds, it will be played out of bounds from Wood. Possession given to the Hawks. It's 2-1. Jack Owens, who had a strong run in the last game to make it 12-1, which is ultimately the difference maker for the Hawks. Serve now. He will bump this up to Christou. Christou sets it across from McGuire, who just sends it over. Miscommunication between Horan and Harris. It's another Hawks point, 3-1. Vikings seem to be playing a little rattled here. The Hawks with all the momentum and all the energy. After that last game, a dominant performance. Owens again. Off the ceiling for Muller. Straight back down to the hardwood, 4-1. Nobody could get under it for the Vikings. And as a reminder, any ball played off the ceiling is considered a live ball. It is now 4-1. Harris across for Lynch, just tips it over. Adams keeps it alive to Christou, to McGuire. And he airs this one out of bounds. It is 4-2. Lynch sends this one over. Owens to Christou to Martinelli, but blocked by the Vikings. Muller to Harris, back over to Muller. Christou keeps it alive to Owens. To McGuire, just inside the back line to make it 5-2. Ito checks out, Cuthbertson checks in, and Adams will serve for the Hawks. Protecting a 5-2 lead, looking to expand it. Sends this one over. Horan bumps it up to Harris, across for Muller. Looks like the Hawks touch the net there. It will be Vikings ball. Adams out, Ito back in. Owens to Christou, sets it to Martinelli, tipped and out of bounds off the Vikings. Hawks tack on another. Reagan in to serve. McGuire out. Horan unable to dig this one out. And it's a 4-point lead for the Hawks. Reagan serve to Horan. To Harris. Off the side of the net and out of bounds. That's 2 more for the Hawks. It's 8-3. Reagan over again. Free ball right over. Hit right down by Sean Cuthbertson. Doesn't touch the net. Doesn't reach over, and it'll be a Hawks point. 6-point lead now, 9-3. Reagan serve. Mishandled by Horan. Kept alive by the Vikings. Martinelli tips it over. As the Vikings looking to send this one over, it's Lynch. Christou leaves it for Cuthbertson, and Lynch is unable to dig it out. And it is 10-3. And it will be another timeout now for the Vikings. Hawks hang on to a 7-point lead. We'll be back in just a moment. We are underway out of our timeout break in game 4. Harris sending it over to Muller, who just has to tip it over. Reagan digs it out. Christou to Cuthbertson. Put out. 10-4. Vikings to serve. Christou sets it. Owens comes in from the back row and just sets it over. Muller's blocked, but it's out of bounds. Will be another point for the Vikings. Christou to Cuthbertson, just taps it over. The Hawks will get the ball back. It's 11-5 here in game 4. Marnelli's serve for the Hawks. Hits the net. It'll be Vikings ball again. Muller to serve for the Vikings. Christou sets it for Owens. Dug out by Muller, but sent out of bounds. 12-6, Hawks get the ball back. Cuthbertson checks out, Adams checks in. Fernando Nido to serve for the Hawks. And called for 5 seconds. Vikings ball. Sends us over for the Vikings. Pop up the basketball net. It's still in play. And just shy of the net from the Hawks. A strange bounce. 12-8. It's now the lead for the Hawks. Durant to serve again. Owens pops it up, gets it back, and sends it down for the kill. 13-8, 5-point lead for the Hawks. Reagan checks out, McGuire checks in. Christou to serve again for the Hawks. Sends this over. Muller plays it to Harris. Rand just has to send it over. The third touch on that side for the Vikings. McGuire got all of it. In fact, a little too much of it. Sent it out of bounds. 13-9. Serve from Muller. Owens leaves it for Christou to McGuire. Kicked and kept up by the Vikings. Christou to Adams now. And out. It will remain Archbishop Wood ball. Harris to serve. Christou sets it, nobody there. Nido has to get over. Sends a free ball over. Lynch on the kill for the Vikings. And look out, they're within 2. It's 13-11. And they still have possession. Dan Harris to serve. Ito digs it out, leaves it for Adams. The Vikings had a piece of it, but it falls in the Hawks' favor. And now 14-11, Jack Owens to serve. Sends this one over. Haran to Harris, back to Haran. Just has to set it over. And hit down by Lynch, right in front of the net. 14-12 now. It'll be Vikings ball. Ito digs it out for Christou. Christou for Martinelli. Powerful kill there for Martinelli. 15-12. Adams to serve for the Hawks. Adams sends this over and in, just inside the back line. The Vikings watched it. All the way back to Adams. 16-12. Has to watch his time here. Gets it over. Lynch just barely able to dig it out. Harris across for Muller. And short hits it in to the net. 17-12. Hawks up by 5. Approaching that 25-point mark, which would seal today's game. Matchup. Adams sends it over. Haran bumps it for Harris. Over to Muller. Kept alive by Owens. To Christou. McGuire just sets it over. Muller to Haran. To Lynch. Great dig by Owens. And the Hawks just unable to get it over the net. Went off Cuthbertson. And then Christou had a chance at it. Just too low. Hits the net. 17-13. Dodd to serve for the Vikings. Owens pops it up. Cuthbertson. Nice move. The Vikings able to return it. Here comes McGuire. Kept alive by the Vikings again. Ito to Christou. To Martinelli. Blocked. And the Vikings take another. 17-14. Dodd to serve. Sends this one over. Owens. Leaves it for Christou to Martinelli. Just called out. 17-15. The Vikings looking to tie very soon. Dodd sends this over. Owens to Cuthbertson. Blocked. Kept alive by Christou. Ito to McGuire. Gets it over. Lynch is blocked. That's kept alive by the Vikings. Muller tips it over. And the Hawks unable to dig it out. Hawks saying this should have been called dead before. Saying that Lynch touched the net, I believe, on that last attempt. Captain Jack Owens will discuss it with the referee right now. Call it the second official to deliberate. Cut to the camera. Waiting the official ruling to see what they say. Try to see whether or not there was a touch there for the Hawks. It looks like it will be Hawks ball, which would take a point back from the Vikings. They will have some words of their own. See what the officials say. Looks like they will replay the possession. The point has been taken off, but the Vikings will serve. Owens mishandles it, touches it twice. And it's Vikings ball, 17-16 anyway. Mathod to serve. Owens bumps it up for Christou to Cuthbertson. Over. Sent backwards by the Vikings. Rathod sends it over. Owens to Christou to McGuire. Out of bounds. They call it out. Vikings point tied at 17. Rathod sends this one over. Owens leaves it for Christou. Over for Martinelli. Gets it over. Harris up for Muller. Owens keeps it alive. Christou for Martinelli again off the front of the net. 18-17. And for the first time in a long time, it's the Vikings with a lead. About to serve, just gets over the net. Christou sends it back for Owens. Lynch. Now sent over by Muller. Christou up in front for Cuthbertson. And the Hawks take it back, tied at 18. McGuire checks out. Reagan checks in, and he will serve. 18-18. Here in game 4, Reagan gets it over. Haran to Harris. Over to Lynch. Kept alive by Owens. Into the ceiling, and Vikings ball. Narrow 1-point lead for the Vikings again. They had a 1-point lead in game 2, which they eventually closed out for a 2-point win. They will give this one right back. That serve there from the Vikings. Number 9, Ryan Esereza. Off the net will be Martinelli to take a lead for the Hawks. Gets it over. Harris over to Haran. Just sets it over. Christou for Owens. Look out! Inbounds. Hawks 20. Vikings 19. Martinelli to serve again. The Hawks can take the day with a win here. Looks like Martinelli crossed the line on that serve, the back line. It is 20-20. Muller to serve for the Vikings. Nito digs it. Christou sets it. Owens kills it. 21-20. The Hawks take that lead right back. Nito to serve again. He had the opportunity at the end of last game. Sends it over. Haran bumps it up. This one called dead for the Hawks. Harris touched it twice is the ruling. So now 22-20. Hawks must win by 2. Nito on the serve, mishandled by Muller. 23. And the Hawks pull away with it. We'll find out as the Vikings take a timeout, and we'll be right back after this. (23-20) in favor of the Hawks here in Game 4. To win this game here, we'll give them a 3-1 lead in the best of 5 and close out the day. Fernando Nito to serve. Sends it over. Haran sets it, blocked. Harris is blocked by Owens. And it's game point right here, 24-20. Coach hypes the team up. Nito tells him to quiet down. Game point on the line, and it hits the net. And it's 24-21. The Vikings with a chance to get back into this one, or at least make it even more interesting. Haran to serve. Dug out by Reagan. Christou sets it for Owens. Out. They call it out. And it's 24-22. Haran to serve again for the Vikings. Dug out by Nito. Set by Christou. Here comes Owens. Tips it over. And he got it. The Hawks close out Game 4 by a score of 25-22. And that will end it for the day. Your final score from today: 3-1 for the sets. And in order, it was the Hawks 25-21, Wood 26-24, the Hawks again 25-13, and in that last game, 25-22. Your final. After dropping their scrimmage earlier this season, the Hawks will improve to 1-0 on the season. We hope to see you next time. I believe Wednesday at home. Hopefully hit some jerseys with logos. But until then, this ragtag team moves 1-0 over the Vikings here at Archbishop Wood. Thank you once again, everyone, for tuning in. My name is Anthony Salvato. One last time.